Hey, Jasmine here, and welcome to a slight tutorial, but mostly a project I was working on. I've been trying to bring more attention to indie authors this year, especially since I am an indie author myself. At the end of last year, I put out a post on Threads asking for indie authors to tell me a little about their books, and the response was wow. There were so many responses from indie authors of all genres. I've been reading one book a week, alternating between traditionally published novels and indie novels. And here's the thing I've learned about indie authors. Most of them don't sell their book in hardcover. As someone who loves hardcover, buying paperback feels so wrong. I'm not the most organized person, but when it comes to paper, I need paper to be clean and smooth. No creases or stains. I'm the type of person who only writes in felt pen because it's just looks so much nicer and has to fight the urge to rewrite the whole page if I make a mistake. In high school, I always used to put my class schedule printout under the plastic of my binder cover because I hated the idea of folding it, which means I like my books looking like I've never read them. And paperback looks read almost immediately. If I keep a paperback, I will be putting it in my book press to flatten out again. But I thought about a fun project because of that. I have a habit of picking up new hobbies, learning to do them, and in most cases, just abandoning them. I learned knitting, crochet, ceramics, beading, bracelet weaving, a lot of random spur-of-the-moment curiosities, most of which I ended up abandoning as soon as I learned them. And one of those hobbies was bookbinding. I believe I made 2 sketchbooks and rebound a copy of the first Witcher book, and then never made another book again. I've been wanting to get back to binding, so I thought a fun way to get back into it would be to rebind the indie novels I've been buying, but not for me, but as a gift for the authors, because there's nothing more satisfying than seeing something you wrote being dressed. The first indie author whose book I read was When You Return by Havelah Mclat, a second chance romance centered on a single mother trying to save her family ice rink. Now onto the actual video. I should warn you, I was really rusty, so I made a few mistakes along the way. Plus, I'm not a professional, so there's that. I knew the first step would be to remove the original cover from the book. I peeled off the paper cover, but I knew the extra glue could be an issue for the spine. I ordered a glue remover and scraper, and it got messier than I expected. The glue didn't come off completely, but the remover at least helped me get the bigger chunks out and smooth out the surface. However, I did accidentally get some on the cover, which stained and blurred the text. The book was mostly okay, but I did have to remove the first page. Luckily, the first page was the reviews of her book that she had included and not the title page, but my text block was mostly unharmed. The next step was to add end pages. End pages are the pages that attach the text block to the hardcover. I didn't want plain end pages, so I looked up some wallpapers. Since the book is about an ice rink, I printed these beautiful snowflake wallpapers on 2 sheets of cardstock. Next, I needed to glue these pages to the text block. I folded them in half with my bone folder, a tool used for bookbinding. Luckily, once folded, they were the perfect size for the text block, so I didn't have to trim them at all. An important thing with bookbinding is to use the right glue, which is PVA glue. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's similar to white school glue. The difference is school glue is only PVA based, which is why it's best not to use school glue if you want the product to last longer. Put the glue along the edge of the text block, only about 1/8 of an inch in. Then attach the end pages. I then put my text block in my book press to make sure it dried flat. Now, I don't trust my bookbinding skills enough to expect this to stay on, which is why I ordered some book repair cloth. Just to give it some extra reinforcement, I cut a piece and glued it to the spine and the outside of the end pages. Once it was dry to touch, I put it back in my book press to flatten it again. Finally, it was time for the cover. I ordered some binder's board I've had good experiences with, and then measured my text block. For the width, the measurement is the width of the text block minus 1/8 of an inch. For the height, it's the height of the text block plus 1/4 of an inch. The spine piece is the exact same size as the spine itself. I couldn't find my metal ruler with the cork backing, so my plastic ruler kept sliding. I had to call for backup because the ruler kept sliding, and I'm a weakling, so it was taking me way too many passes with my box cutter to cut the pieces. You'll notice my mom and older brother's hands appearing to help me. My mom ended up cutting while me and Jerry secured the ruler. I ordered this pale blue book cloth to use for my cover. Laying out the pieces, I separated them by 1/4 of an inch, plus the width of the binder's board. Then it was time to glue. To glue, it's important to use a big brush because the glue dries really fast. I painted the glue onto the board pieces one at a time with a piece of cardstock underneath so it didn't get too messy. Next, I trimmed the cloth, leaving 1 inch all around, then the corners at an angle, cutting out a slice on each one. I put the glue on the edges and folded them over. The bone folder makes this part easier, but I misplaced it sometime in the week between the text block and the cover. Next, I lined up the text block and put glue on the board and the edges of the end pages. A paper underneath so I didn't get glue where I didn't want it. The pages were a little crooked. Like I said, I am rusty at this. All in all, I think it came out pretty decently. Finally, it was time for my favorite part, designing. I knew I wanted to have the same font as the book's title page and some snowflakes, but I thought it needed more. Since the book is about the main character wanting to save her family ice rink, I thought ice skates would be the perfect cover. I was going to draw the skates myself, but then I saw this cute Etsy file. So I bought the file and traced over the thinner sections so that my Cricut wouldn't have any trouble with the file. I saved the layers as PNG files, then converted them to SVG files using an online converter, then uploaded them to Cricut and sized them. White pearl vinyl for the snowflakes and border, and black for the title and author name. Luckily, the Cricut handled the thinner sections of the letters wonderfully. With my mini iron on the lowest setting and a piece of parchment paper on top, I slowly ironed the vinyl onto the cover. I think it's best to start on the lowest setting since some vinyls are more delicate. When I realized it wasn't adhering, I turned up the heat one level and ditched the parchment since I knew I didn't need it. And the book was done. It's not perfect. Sometime during the week while I was waiting for the binder board to get here, a small crumb stained the inside cover. See, I don't know if you can see it. And also the side of the book. You probably can't see it with this camera. I tried to clean and cover it, but my job wasn't too successful. I at least got it where you can't see it unless you're looking for it, which honestly is the best I could ask for at this point. One of the corners of the binder's board is showing a little because I cut too far out. The end pages aren't lined up the same way on both sides. Like this one's perfect, but this one, it got a little too much on the bottom and not enough on the top. Binding is tough, and it turns out not making a book in, I want to say 6 years makes a big difference to my skills. What do you think of the result though? I got the author Havelah's mailing address from her. I was going to surprise her, but when she asked if I could tell her anything, I at least told her I was going to rebind her book into a hardcover and ship it so that she knows it's coming. She just doesn't know what it looks like. I asked her if she would be willing to film herself opening it, so hopefully there will be footage at the end of this showing that. But yeah, isn't it pretty? The snowflakes, the ice skates, and the title stand out. I was honestly really surprised that the spine text managed to cut on the Cricut without it shredding it. I missed one part of the snowflake while I was weeding it. See, it's supposed to have the opening like that, but it doesn't look bad, so that's good. Once I saw I forgot, I made sure I ironed it so that you can't even tell it was supposed to be cut. But yeah, I can't wait to make more of the other indie authors' novels into hardcovers because it's just so much more satisfying to hold. And I can't wait for her to see it.
Hello. So I haven't done like a live reaction reels or a video. It's gonna be a little longer. I don't know how many minutes. But I went to open a package from one of the authors, but also she is a book lover, also like to read books. So she reached out to me and told me that she would be making she will place paperback into hardcover, so pretty much from scratch. So I was like quite not expect that. So this could be my real life reaction. Again, I have not opened the package. I just got it. So let's go ahead and open it. Yeah. That was fun to do. I mean, it's the only way I don't want to ruin it because I'm using a knife now. Oh no. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine. I did her name. Nice little note. Neatly wrapped. Very smart idea. It's better to secure it than let it be ruined. So I'm glad she secured it. So very exciting. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, so cute. Ice skate. Just like a theme. Oh, so pretty. Oh, she did such a beautiful job. Like she just found it together. Like she said she found it. Wow. Oh, thank you, Jasmine. It's such a beautiful. Now definitely the for collection. Yeah, maybe one day down the road I might do a hardcover. For now, I really appreciate that she surprised me with this lovely hardcover edition. So thank you, Jasmine. And I hope you have fun watching this video of me reacting, opening the package from Jasmine. And I hope you have a nice day.